Hi guys, welcome back. Wow, surprise, surprise. Today, Nasdaq opened up high and completely destroyed the pattern of yesterday, looking like a suspicious top. It gap up quite high right away and continued the uptrend. The whole day was staying flat. So it looked like it was lack of volume and momentum. And then during the last minute, the volume finally caught up a little bit more. So then in the end, we managed to have the volume slightly above the volume from yesterday. So as of right now, the few days of the rebound, the overall volume are bigger than the volume previously when it was dropping hard. That is a good sign. So in the morning, before the market opened, during the pre-market, I saw the A share in China was bouncing quite nicely with the increase of 2.36%, showing a clear sign of reversal, making this a bottom. And same thing with the Hang Seng Index of Hong Kong, bouncing up quite nicely. So that's why it affects the US market as well. And we saw in the morning the future was up nicely. So I sent a message to the Discord to let everyone know we are breaking the pattern from yesterday. And because of the A share and HSI, we expect a good run for most of our Chinese stocks today. So the gap up in the morning right away broke out the trend of this downward movement for the last few weeks, and continued the uptrend movement, and right away broke through the resistance previously around 13,300, and now it would act as a support instead. So the next resistance would be around this level where it was an important resistance before. Every time it touched this level, it got back down previously. So this is where we need to watch out. And it would be also where I would trim off my short-term position that I opened recently, because there is a possibility where it would backtest support, either this support or this support. But it would be more unlikely to push it down to this support. As I mentioned many times, I think a lot of panic selling had already happened last Thursday and Friday. So I'm sure everybody wants a double bottom where they can be sure to enter safely. But would the institutions have such mercy to let all those people who panic sold last week to buy it back at the same price or lower? I doubt it, unless there is black swan news. So that's why I think the more possibility would be just moving up and down this range. But overall, I think this rebound this week had passed a lot of people's expectation, including myself. It's very strong, very quick. For me, I'm very happy that most of us had taken full advantage of this rundown to adjust our portfolio and change it to the stocks that we have always wanted in the long run, the companies that we have faith in for the next few years. And for me, I added EH a lot to shape our portfolio the best we can, because there were just so many opportunities that show themselves. Like for me, I've always wanted to add more EH, and because of the rundown, we have such great chance. So right now, I am much more satisfied with my portfolio than a month ago. Now, during the rebound, while it's running up, usually it would be better to trim on the green day and buy on the red days whenever it's backtesting. But for your long-term position, you can just sit tight. As long as the uptrend continues overall, it doesn't drop below the 5-day moving average, then it should be safe for your stocks to just keep holding. S&P 500 were quite strong and broke the all-time high today. On this uptrend, it looks like it can still have room to grow versus Dow Jones. Now, because Dow Jones had been making new high almost every single day, running up quite strong for a while already, but at the same time the volume was going down. And on this uptrend, it has reached the top, so there is possibility to do wash sale. So the wash sale can come anytime. So recently it has been rotating almost every single day from Dow Jones to Nasdaq. One day here, one day there, which is why I still think it's important to stay consistent and invest in the companies we believe in for the future, instead of focusing on which sector is hot today or tomorrow, because we can chase anytime and get burned anytime. Now let's look at our stocks. Not only because the $1.9 trillion stimulus bill has passed through, but also the A share in Shanghai and the HSI in Hong Kong, all the Asian market that had been growing very well last night. So that's why a lot of our Chinese stocks had been growing very well today. First, our baby Neo had grew 11%, which is already a 50% run up from the lowest point on Friday. While it would have some resistance from 47 to 49, now it might come back to backtest again, and that would be a good chance to buy the dip again. EH has been on fire recently, growing just as fast as back then in January. On the beast mode again, the momentum is quite strong, so we need to sit tight. But for our EH to grow is somewhat expected anyways, because when it was dropped to this level at the 30s, it was just ridiculously undervalued and it was quite attractive. But for now, let's not get too excited first. There is a chance it would form a head and shoulder bottom before. So watch out for any backtest. Any backtest would be another buying opportunity since we have such a strong conviction on it. Now, LKCO had also enjoyed a run up of 18% today. Now, on Tuesday, I said that LKCO finally broke through the downward trend line that's been going on for a while, and we started to see some light at the tunnel. But we need to also expect it to break out and then come back to backtest. And it did so exactly yesterday before the closing, but it touched the trend line and quickly bounced back up. And I said that the big volume here and here just happened to also be the same price at 82 cents. So we know who was so precise to catch the dip there, because right now people are still fearful for LKCO after such a big drop for so long. So whenever the sell-off starts, it would trigger a lot of the stop loss, hence cause the domino effects. But that's how we see someone was catching the falling knife. And to know the cost for institutions to be around 82 cents. So within the following trading days, as long as it can stay above this cost, then we can pretty much confirm the bottom has formed. Now today, a lot of the Discord members had shared the notice from their brokers, such as Robinhood. Like for example, this is a screenshot share on the Discord, notifying that LKCO may no longer be supported from March 11, which make today be the last day of trading for LKCO. But on the other hand, we have received the official release during the pre-market today saying that Lokang announces Nasdaq withdrawal of delisting notice and confirmation that trading in Lokang ordinary shares will continue until May 8. So that means instead of March, the deadline for trading would be pushed to May. And right now, the reason why a lot of people are getting those notifications from brokers would probably because they are not updated yet. So we should expect the brokers to allow the trading after this news. So this is where Lokang would be appearing in the court to try to get out of this ban from the US Department of Defense, just like what Xiaomi did on Tuesday. And we saw what happened on Tuesday. And the hearing appeared to be at around 2 p.m. tomorrow. Now the source is from our Discord because our members have been talking about this all day. Now let's look at the price action today. So it had gap up in the morning, run up and come back down, and the whole day stay within the same range between 101, 102 to 105, 106 for a long period of time, but has stayed above the gap. So why did this happen? Because a lot of people still were required by the brokers to sell out. And for some cases, it had to be today. But at the same time, the brokers also said that they can also keep the shares in the brokers as long as they don't do any trading with it, and they can sell it out one day. So that is why today would be also the last day they can buy it in order to just keep it there. So that would explain the tiny movement up and down for the whole day being all flat, because there are people that had to sell, there are people that had to buy today. And the buying and selling volume are quite similar. So we will have to see what happened tomorrow in the hearing. But we need to also know that it would take time for the result to come out. So we just need patience and sit tight from here. Now, YSG had released the earning this morning pre-market. At some point during the pre-market, it was up 7% and then quickly went back down to below 4 to 5%. And if we look at the earning, the revenue had a 71% year-over-year, margin to be 66%, which is slightly above 62% of last year. The gross profit had increased 81% from last year, and the number of customers had increased 30%. Now, all these numbers are looking quite good actually. I'm quite happy with it. The only thing was the loss to be 280 million compared to last year's net profit of 60 million. So that might be the only bad news about it. But overall, I think it's expected for a high growth company to spend more for expansion and acquisition, which they did last year, to have increase of losses. It would be normal for a high growth company at a very early stage. So that's why I don't take this earning as bad news, but the market did for sure. So in the morning when it was dropping quickly, I had bought the dip, and I think some of our Discord members did it with me too, because I do think it's an overreaction or misinterpretation of the earning, and I still like the potential of the company. But the market also responded back quickly and had a run up afterwards. Now if we look at the daily chart, today was really the biggest volume after the IPO for the last few months. It means some people had panic sell after the earning, and there were also a lot of buying the dip action. So that's why we see the volume being quite high, and it bounced back up pretty quickly, I would say. Now I do think YSG has a very good positioning in the Chinese market and will grow with the Chinese market and the demand for makeup in China, which is one of the fastest growing market for makeup in the world. And I do see it beating a lot of the international big brands in the upcoming future. So for a market cap to be 10 billion right now, I still think we have room to grow. We can look at Estee Lauder. The market cap is 105 billion. And for L'Oreal, it's near 180 billion. And we know that a lot of these big brands right now have a big income source from the Chinese market. And brands like YSG would be slowly taking away their market share because of the whole trend of loyalty to Chinese brands from the millennials, as I explained before. Now, if you haven't watched my video about Chinese stocks, you can go to my channel, and there is a video where I talked about Chinese stocks in January. And that would give you more detailed explanation on YSG, why I think the trend happening in China will be more and more in favor for a lot of these domestic brands. And this has not changed since then. So I still have faith in YSG, even though the earning did not do them a favor. But meanwhile, it doesn't mean it can just do a V-shaped recovery and grow back up quickly, because the reason is that it's still a recently public company. So we still need to consider the volatility of a new public company and also the lockup period that ends in around May, so 2 months from here. So that's why it's okay to be cautious and be more safe. So you can always set a stop loss slightly below the support, let's say 15, for example. For me, because I still want to see it grow, so I would set a stop loss lower to be 13.4. So then I don't get shaken out easily, but I might lose more if things go south. Okay? Last one to mention is VIOT, Viomi Technology, ticker symbol VIOT. It's one of the new ones I introduced last week. And then I said again on this Monday when it was 9, I said that I look forward to the potential of this company. It's a supplier for Xiaomi for their smart home products, which happen to be one of the most important and strategic plan for Xiaomi right now. But Xiaomi is not the only client for Viomi. They're focusing on Internet of Things combining with artificial intelligence. So I see this industry just beginning right now, and it has a lot more potential to grow. But right now it has recently run up, and today again 22%. So I wouldn't recommend to chase right now, but rather wait for a pullback or backtesting support first. Like for example, 10 to 11 would be more safe, or open a position and continue to average down, or at least just put it in your watch list for now. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, please give me a big like and write me a great comment, and I will see you tomorrow. That's it, guys. Hope you can find my videos helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and give me a big like. Thank you.